Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Corners, Matt Billy is attacked, and Noah, Kane, and Phyllis are caught. Noah Newman will be cornered by Matt Clark, also known as Mitch Bacall, while Billy Abbott will be attacked. Here's what fans might anticipate. Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers will also be apprehended. First, since Jill Abbott doesn't want Audra Charles to work for Abbott Communications, Billy and Sally Spectra will argue over whether or not she should. Billy will break a commitment he made, which will cause more turmoil for Sally and Billy in the future. Billy may be prone to resentful tendencies, despite his assurances to Sally that he was focused on the future of their business. Billy will soon cause issues with the Newmans, and after he is attacked, he will receive awful news. Sally might suffer as a result of Billy's errors, as Adam and Victor Newman will proceed with a strategy that could harm Abbott Communications. Phyllis will disagree with Victor once he decides to utilize the Pilfered AI program to demolish Kane's empire. Even if Phyllis is partially to blame, she might eventually comfort Kane. In any event, Lily Winters will ultimately discover something startling about Kane and Phyllis. Lily might witness a passionate change of events as Phyllis and Kane are going to find themselves in a controversial situation together. When Sienna Bacall visits Noah Newman in the hospital in Los Angeles, Nick will undoubtedly see a dose of passion. According to YNR spoilers, Nick will interrupt Noah and Sienna after they kiss, raising concerns about their romantic relationship. Nick will also tell Sienna about Matt's past and all the horrible things he has done. Since Mitch never informed her any of this, Sienna will come to the realization that she doesn't truly know her husband at all. Sharon Newman, meanwhile, will boldly oppose Matt and make threats against him. There will be some uncomfortable moments in their next encounter, since Matt will also threaten Sharon. Matt will send Detective Burrow to the hospital after he arrives for another assignment. Matt's next visit to Sienna's side piece should be made possible by Detective Burrow's successful removal of Noah's guard. It appears that Matt will corner Noah and possibly make him fear for his life once more. While Tessa Porter once more looks to Daniel Romalotti Jr. for comfort, Christine Blair and Danny Romalotti will finalize some of the wedding plans in Genoa City. After Victoria Newman returns from Los Angeles, there will be some familiar energy between her and Nate Hastings. How long will it take for the former flames to become more than just friends again? Nate and Victoria have some intimate moments coming up. According to teasers on The Young and the Restless, Victoria and Nate might eventually need to amend their relationship status, so keep checking back. Nick finds Sienna and Noah together. Holden told Claire about his relationship with Audra last week. As it happens, Audra's secret is that Holden covered for her when she stole money from a man. There is, however, more to this tale than Holden is disclosing, in typical soap opera form. Audra accuses Holden of telling Claire their secret during a furious altercation. Holden, however, retorts that he did it because he didn't want Claire to look into his past. Then he cautions Audra that neither of them wants to share the story. Victor seemed to have finally defeated Kane. Victor is now the most powerful person in Genoa City because to Kane's AI software. Victor intends to use the program to ruin Kane's empire in addition to obtaining Jabot. Chelsea is ecstatic when Adam informs her of the most recent development in the Victor and Kane conflict. She observes, though, that Adam seemed unhappy about Kane's demise. Adam has always been his father's faithful goon, but it's possible that he is reconsidering Victor's most recent scheme. Could Adam be supporting his father's adversaries because of his abrupt change of heart? Devious detective, villain versus victim, wedding plans. It's going to be one of those explosive weeks in The Young and the Restless where every single storyline collides in an emotional and chaotic storm. From Billy Abbott being blindsided by revenge to Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, cornering Noah Newman in a deadly showdown, and from Kane Ashby's scandalous entanglement with Phyllis Summers to Victor's merciless attack on his rivals, viewers are in for a whirlwind of deceit, danger, and shocking exposure that could change Genoa City forever. Let's start with the chaos brewing at Abbott Communications, where Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra are once again on the verge of implosion. Their relationship has been teetering for weeks, but this time, the cracks might be too deep to repair. Billy and Sally will have a heated argument about whether Audra Charles deserves a place at the company. Jill Abbott has made her stance crystal clear. She doesn't want Audra anywhere near their business, but Billy, being Billy, is tempted to push boundaries and do things his way. Sally accuses him of letting his emotions and grudges cloud his judgment, reminding him that they're supposed to be focused on the company's future, not waging personal wars against the Newmans. Despite promising Sally that he'd put business first, Billy slips right back into old habits, plotting vengeance instead of strategy. He can't stand the idea of Victor Newman winning yet another round, and when he discovers that Victor and Adam have a secret plan in motion, he takes reckless action. Unfortunately, Billy's latest move is about to backfire in spectacular fashion. Victor and Adam's father-son alliance is about to turn ruthlessly destructive. Victor, ever the master manipulator, uses his leverage over Kane Ashby's stolen AI technology to hit Abbott Communications where it hurts. Adam, though conflicted, reluctantly follows orders, even as guilt begins to gnaw at him. He doesn't want to destroy Sally's company, and deep down, he knows this attack will devastate her. But Victor's words echo in his mind: family loyalty isn't about comfort, it's about power. Soon, Billy finds himself under attack from all sides: a business ambush, legal threats, and the threat of public humiliation. Abbott Communications stock drops overnight, and Sally's heartbreak turns to fury. She accuses Billy of causing this by defying her and provoking Victor. "You didn't just risk the company, you risked us," she cries. Billy, reeling from guilt, tries to fix things, but it's too late. The Newmans have struck, and the Abbott legacy is bleeding. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summers is caught in her own web of destruction. After hacking into Kane's system months ago to steal fragments of his AI software, she thought she'd erased her digital fingerprints. But Victor's latest power play has turned her scheme into a ticking time bomb. When Victor confronts Phyllis, he lets her know exactly what she's up against. "You built the weapon, Red, and now I'm using it." Phyllis tries to deny her involvement, but she knows the truth: she started this war, and now she's losing control of it. In a moment of desperation, Phyllis goes to Kane Ashby to warn him. What begins as a tense confrontation turns surprisingly intimate. Kane, still smarting from his professional downfall, finds himself drawn to Phyllis's fiery spirit. "You always play with fire, Red," he mutters, pouring another drink. "And this time, you burned us both." One moment of vulnerability turns into something much riskier, an impulsive kiss that spirals into passion. Neither of them expects Lily Winters to walk in and witness it. Lily stands frozen in shock as she sees Phyllis and Kane together, disheveled and guilty. The betrayal hits her like a sledgehammer. "After everything we've been through, this is how you repay me," she demands. Kane tries to explain, but Lily storms out before he can get a word in. The scandal explodes like wildfire, and suddenly, Phyllis and Kane's careers, and reputations, are hanging by a thread. Back in Los Angeles, the drama takes an even darker turn. Noah Newman is recovering in the hospital, still weak but trying to piece his life back together. His world takes a bittersweet turn when Sienna Bacall, still struggling with the truth about her husband Mitch's real identity, comes to visit. Their connection has grown dangerously close, and despite everything, passion takes over. Sienna leans in, and they share a kiss, one that doesn't go unnoticed. Nick Newman bursts into the room just in time to catch them. The look on his face says it all: shock, anger, disappointment. "You're kissing her?" he demands of Noah, while Sienna pulls away, trembling. Nick lays into both of them, furious that Noah would betray his recovery and that Sienna, Mitch's wife, would be so reckless. But what Nick says next changes everything. He begins to recount Matt Clark's horrifying past, the cons, the blackmail, the people he's hurt and left for dead. Sienna's eyes fill with tears as she realizes the man she married isn't just dangerous, he's capable of far worse. "He told me his name was Mitch Bacall," she whispers, shaking. Nick nods grimly. "That's just one of many lies." Sienna begins to unravel emotionally, and it doesn't take long before the nightmare she's been dreading materializes. Mitch, finds out about her hospital visit and Noah's kiss, and he's enraged. His mask of charm drops completely, revealing the vengeful monster underneath. He storms into the hospital disguised as a visitor, his eyes cold and calculating. Detective Burrow, suspicious of Matt's presence, tries to intervene, but Matt has already thought of everything. He lures Burrow away under false pretenses, sending him on a wild goose chase for a supposed security breach. By the time Burrow realizes he's been duped, it's too late. Matt has slipped past the guards. The hospital corridors are eerily quiet as Matt moves closer to Noah's room. The tension is suffocating. Noah, still weak from his injuries, senses danger before he even sees it. When the door creaks open, Matt steps inside with a calm, predatory smile. "You didn't think you could kiss my wife and get away with it, did you?" he says softly. Noah's heart pounds. He tries to call for help, but Matt grabs him by the collar, shoving him back against the bed. "This isn't just a warning, it's a declaration of war." Matt leans in close, his voice low and menacing. "You should have stayed in your lane, kid. You should have stayed away from Sienna." Noah struggles to breathe, gasping out that Sienna doesn't deserve this. But Matt just smirks. Deserve has nothing to do with it. The confrontation escalates as Matt's rage boils over. He nearly snaps, but footsteps echo in the hallway. Sharon Newman is there. She bursts in and freezes at the sight of Matt cornering her son. "Get away from him, Matt," she yells. Matt turns, smirking again, but there's something chilling in his eyes. "Careful, Sharon," he warns. "You don't want to start something you can't finish." But Sharon isn't backing down. She's faced her share of monsters before, and she won't let this one destroy her family. "You think you can scare me? You've already lost, Matt. Everyone knows what you are now." Matt lunges toward her, but security rushes in just in time, pulling him away. As he's dragged out, his eyes lock on Sharon's. "This isn't over," he hisses. "Not by a long shot." Meanwhile, as chaos unfolds in both cities, Genoa City is preparing for something much more peaceful, or so it seems. Christine Blair and Danny Romalotti are finalizing their wedding plans, eager to tie the knot after decades of missed chances. There's laughter, champagne, and a promise of happily ever after. But even amidst the romance, trouble lurks on the edges, because in Genoa City, happiness never lasts for long. Elsewhere, Tessa Porter leans on Daniel Romalotti Jr. for emotional support as she faces a new creative challenge. Their connection deepens, sparking curiosity, and perhaps a little jealousy, from those watching. Could a new romance be budding where no one expected? And finally, Victoria Newman returns home from Los Angeles, her emotions tangled after a complicated reunion with her daughter Claire. As fate would have it, she crosses paths with Nate Hastings, and the chemistry between them reignites instantly. Their friendly catch-up quickly turns intimate, stirring up old feelings neither of them can ignore. "I thought we were done," Victoria says quietly. Nate smiles. "We never were." From business betrayals and forbidden passion to near-deadly confrontations and emotional reunions, The Young and the Restless is delivering everything fans crave: scandal, suspense, and soul-crushing heartbreak. As Billy's empire crumbles, Phyllis and Kane's scandal spreads, and Matt's darkness grows, the line between villain and victim blurs like never before. One thing's for sure, no one in Genoa City will leave this week unscathed. The tension in Genoa City and Los Angeles only intensifies as secrets unravel and alliances begin to fracture beyond repair. Matt Clark, the man who has spent years hiding behind the name Mitch Bacall, now stands fully exposed. His mask has cracked, revealing the darkness beneath the charm. Even as he's dragged out of the hospital, his eyes burn with vengeance, and his threats echo through the sterile hallways like a curse. Sharon Newman, shaking from the encounter, pulls Noah into her arms. "You're safe now," she whispers, though even she doesn't quite believe it. Noah's hands tremble as he looks past her toward the doorway where Matt disappeared. "No, Mom," he murmurs hoarsely. "He's not done. He'll never stop." The doctors rush in to check Noah's vitals, but Sharon can't shake the feeling that Matt's final words weren't a bluff. Somewhere out there, he's plotting, and next time, he won't fail. Across town, Sienna Bacall sits alone in her car, tears streaming down her face. Her world has collapsed in a matter of hours. The man she thought she loved, the man who promised her a future, is a criminal, a manipulator, and now, a violent threat. She replays every memory, every romantic moment, every whisper of affection, realizing how much of it was built on lies. "Who are you, Mitch?" she sobs. But she already knows the answer. He's not Mitch Bacall. He's Matt Clark, and he's capable of anything. Meanwhile, Nick Newman meets with Detective Burrow, furious that security at the hospital was compromised. He shouldn't have even been allowed near the building. Nick shouts, slamming his fist on the table. Burrow, ashamed, admits that Matt used his own authority to mislead him. "He's smart," the detective mutters. "Too smart. He planned every second." Nick glares. "Then we outsmart him. Whatever it takes, he's not going to get near my son or my family again." Back in Genoa City, Billy Abbott is learning the hard way that vengeance has a price. The fallout from Victor's ruthless business strike is catastrophic. His phone hasn't stopped ringing, shareholders, reporters, lawyers, everyone demanding answers. Sally Spectra, equally furious and devastated, storms into his office, slamming a stack of documents onto his desk. "We're being sued, Billy. Victor's got us backed into a corner, and it's all because you couldn't leave it alone." Billy rises from his chair, frustration flashing in his eyes. "Don't you dare put this all on me, Sally. Victor's been coming for us since day one. You think he was ever going to let us succeed?" Sally crosses her arms. "He didn't have to try so hard, Billy. You gave him the ammunition. You made yourself the target." Her voice trembles, but it's not just anger, it's heartbreak. "You promised me you'd change. That you'd be better than this." Billy softens for a moment, stepping closer. "I am trying. But you can't expect me to just sit back and let Victor destroy everything I built." "Everything you built?" Sally fires back, tears welling in her eyes. "What about us? I thought we were building something together. But every time things get tough, you turn it into another Abbott versus Newman battle." Billy looks at her, guilt flooding his features. "I can't undo what happened. But I'll fix it. I swear." "Fix it?" she repeats bitterly. "You can't fix what's already broken." And with that, Sally grabs her things and walks out, leaving Billy staring at the door, realizing he may have just lost the woman who believed in him when no one else would. Elsewhere, Phyllis Summers is dealing with the aftermath of her reckless decisions. Word has spread about her in Kane, and Genoa City is buzzing. Gossip blogs, whispers at society, scandalous phone calls, the town thrives on chaos, and Phyllis has just delivered the biggest headline of the week. Lily Winters, heartbroken and humiliated, throws herself into work at Chancellor Winters, refusing to acknowledge Kane or Phyllis. But her silence speaks volumes. She's not just hurt, she's plotting. Lily has always been the calm, composed one, but betrayal has awakened something darker in her. When Devon tries to console her, she cuts him off sharply. "Don't," she warns. "They think they can make a fool of me? I'll make them regret it." Phyllis, meanwhile, is trying to pick up the pieces, and not doing a great job. She finds Kane at the bar, nursing his third drink of the night. "You're really taking this well," she mutters, sliding into the seat next to him. Kane laughs bitterly. "What's left to take? My company's gone, my reputation's gone, and now Lily's gone too." Phyllis sighs. "I didn't mean for this to happen." "Didn't mean to?" Kane snaps, slamming his glass down. "You came to me for help with Victor, you pushed me to fight back, and then you dragged me right into this mess." Phyllis flinches but doesn't deny it. "You're right. I did. And I'd do it again if it meant taking Victor down." Kane looks at her, stunned. "You still don't get it, do you? He's already won." Their conversation grows quieter, more painful. Phyllis, ever defiant, masks her pain with bravado. He hasn't won until I say he has. But her voice cracks, and Kane sees through the act. For the first time, he sees Phyllis not as a schemer, but as someone who's utterly lost. Over at Newman Enterprises, Victor Newman sits in his office, watching the chaos unfold just as he planned. The Abbotts will learn, he says coldly to Adam. Never cross a Newman. Adam, sitting across from him, doesn't respond. He's tired of the wars, the manipulation, the endless cycle of power games. At what cost, Dad? He finally asks. Victor raises an eyebrow. The cost of winning is always worth paying. But Adam isn't convinced. Later that night, he confides in Chelsea Lawson, who immediately senses his inner conflict. You're starting to sound like the old Adam, she says softly. The one who questioned everything your father stood for. Adam shakes his head. The old Adam would have burned the whole world down just to prove a point. The new one's just trying to stop him from doing the same. Meanwhile, Matt Clark is already on the move. Though he's been temporarily detained, his network of shady connections ensures that he won't stay behind bars for long. Within hours, he's released on bail under a false identity, a move that leaves Detective Burrow fuming. He slipped through the cracks again, Burrow admits to Nick. Nick clenches his jaw. Then we close the cracks. But Matt's next move isn't about evasion, it's about retribution. The moment he's free, he begins tracking down everyone who stood in his way, Sharon, Sienna, and most of all, Noah. He's no longer pretending to be anyone else, he's Matt Clark, and he's coming for revenge. Sienna, terrified, checks into a hotel under a fake name. Her hands shake as she dials Sharon's number. He's out, she whispers. He's out, and he's coming. Sharon, already fearing the worst, reassures her, stay where you are. I'll send someone. But Sienna isn't sure anyone can protect her anymore. The nightmare has become too real. At the same time, Noah is trying to reclaim some sense of normalcy. He returns home against the doctor's advice, determined to move forward. But sleep doesn't come easily, every creak of the floorboards, every flicker of light outside his window makes his heart race. The fear is constant, and somewhere deep down, he knows Matt isn't done. And he's right.